These people at NRS, they don't love Mortal Kombat. They're just doing a job to get Mortal Kombat on their resume. We need somebody else doing story writing. We don't need this guy. He's crap. He's total crap. He doesn't know anything. This garbage Chaos Reigns that he came up with. What the hell is this crap? Absolute garbage from beginning to end. Chaos Reigns is total trash. Total trash. Total garbage. Oh, what are you doing, NRS? There's so much potential. There's so much potential, and you're not doing anything with it. You're not doing anything with it. Ah, it hurts. Why? Just. Liu Kang has no business being Raiden. The minds of the people who made Liu Kang the new Raiden is too small. Their minds are too small. They don't think big enough. And I'll demonstrate that to you right now. Look at Raiden. Raiden's been alive for millions of years. Millions. Eons. What are eons? Let's quickly define eons. So an eon, it's spelled A-E-O-N. I thought it was E-O-N. An indefinite and very long period of time. Okay. I'm sure there's a more proper definition to it. What kind of stupid definition is this? An eon. On vocabulary.com it says an eon is a really, really super long, impossible to measure length of time. What kind of... It sounds like this website was made by a child. I could swear that I read somewhere that an eon means millions of years, or a million years at least. So Raiden has lived that long. Now look at humans, right? How long is our lifespan? 70 years, 80 years, 90 years. Very few of us make it to 100 years. How minute is that compared to millions of years? I would argue, look, I don't know the full history of Raiden. It can be Raiden has lived for so long that there must be so many untold stories about Raiden. So many untold stories about Raiden. We only know a small snippet of Raiden's life. That is from the first Mortal Kombat game to the last Mortal Kombat game. Which is how much amount of time? 25 years? Something like that? From the first Mortal Kombat tournament to Armageddon. How much time is that? It is within the span of the lifetime of the characters in the game. Which is, if you look at Outworlders, no, not Outworlders, Edenians. If you look at Outworlders or Edenians, they live for 10,000 years at least. That much we know. I don't think we know how old Sindel is, but we know that Kitana is 10,000 years old. I would imagine that Sindel is significantly older than Kitana. Because when the age numbers get to around 10,000, it doesn't make sense to have an age anymore. For example, let's say I'm 30 years old and I have a kid who's 5 years old. Okay? There's a difference of 25 years between us, and that's quite a big gap. I'm much more able than a 5-year-old. I can go about in the world and do all kinds of things. I'm a responsible adult for myself. The 5-year-old can't do anything. They need guidance all along the way. So, if I was to reach 60 years old, so that's an extra 30 years, the young boy is now 35 years old, an able adult himself. Now we're both able adults, but I'm still almost double his age. If I was to reach 10,000 years old, how old would my boy be? He'd be 9,975 years old. What really is the difference between a 9,000-year-old person and a 10,000-year-old person? It doesn't make sense anymore. I just wanted to throw that out there. Now look at Raiden. Raiden is far beyond all of this. Alright? He's seen a lot. The time of the Mortal Kombat tournament, of Liu Kang's time, is just a small blip, a small grain of sand in the desert of Raiden's life. Every grain of sand in a whole desert that spans Raiden's life. And the time that Liu Kang was in his life is just one grain of sand. Imagine that. Okay? Now Liu Kang lived for how long? 30 years. Let's say 30 years. It is absolutely outrageous to even think that Liu Kang has the same kind of experience as Raiden. Raiden lived for millions of freaking years. Millions. Billions probably. He's the protector of Earthrealm. Whether there was a previous protector of Earthrealm before, we don't know. These are untold stories. We don't know how Raiden was born. We don't know how Raiden came about. Was he someone that was born on Earthrealm and he became Raiden one day? Was there a previous protector of Earthrealm who passed on his powers to Raiden? I don't want to give credit to NRS, who made it so that Raiden passed on his powers to Liu Kang. I don't want to do that. So Liu Kang is like 30 years old. 30 years old, 25 years old, whatever he is. He should not even have the audacity and the guts to even stand up to Raiden. He should look at Raiden and think, man, Raiden must have a sea of wisdom in him which I can drink a cup of water from. He can't possibly drink the whole sea. He can only drink a cup at a time. So Liu Kang's role is suitable to be the champion of Mortal Kombat. And what should happen with Liu Kang is that, just like the great Kung Lao, I don't know how long he was the champion of Mortal Kombat for, but when there is a champion of Mortal Kombat, that person lives forever. Because he has to keep being champion. That's his role. He is the champion of Earthrealm. His role is to be the champion of Earthrealm and fight for Earthrealm as the representative, as the champion of Earthrealm. Earthrealm's best right here is gonna be preserved forever until he's defeated by someone else. So in the Mortal Kombat tournament, they become mortal because this is their chance to lose now. So when Goro fought with the great Kung Lao, he battered the great Kung Lao, destroyed him. So the great Kung Lao is no longer the champion. He's out. It's such a shame that NRS just threw that story away. Did not even bother with it. What a shame. What a shame. Anyway, Goro, the Dragon Prince of the Shokan, I believe he's about 2,000 years old, if not exactly 2,000 years old. And he's been a champion of Mortal Kombat for 500 years. So he's been winning every single Mortal Kombat tournament, 9 of them consecutively, for 500 years. 9 of them consecutively for 500 years. If I do the math on that, he won the first one. 50 years later, he wins another one. 50. It sounds like it's about 50 years apart. 500 divided by 9 is not 50. It's more than 50. So okay, let's not get too technical. Let's just say that every Mortal Kombat is every 50 years. So Goro won 9 of them for Outworld. They needed one more and then Shao Kahn gets to have Earthrealm. Before Liu Kang, there were 9 Mortal Kombat tournaments since the great Kung Lao was defeated. This means that Raiden sought out 8 other champions at least. He sought out 8 other champions who lived their lifetimes, and he must have trained them. He must have tried to get the best out of them. And we could even have a story about these 8 champions which no one has ever mentioned, no one has ever thought about. There's 8 champions between the great Kung Lao and... Wait a minute, I'm calling them champions. They're not champions. They're the champions of Earthrealm, but they're not the champions of Mortal Kombat. They're the best that Earthrealm has to offer. They were each just another grain of sand in the desert of Raiden's life. And then Liu Kang ends up being the last one who manages to defeat Goro. He was the spark, the special spark, the chosen one. He defeated Goro. But this whole 9 tournaments thing is just another blip in Raiden's life. It's like 10 grains of sand inside. Now, I don't want to go too far with this grain of sand thing. All I want to say is this whole thing is just a small, very minute part of Raiden's life. Before, there was a war with Shinnok. Thousands of years ago, I believe is what Raiden said. Thousands of years ago. Which, if you talk about the time period of thousands of years, even Liu Kang's life is just a small blip in those thousands of years. Look, we are literally closer to when Jesus was around roaming the earth than Liu Kang is to when Shinnok was doing his war with Raiden. Okay, I'll give a small credit, okay? I'll give a small possibility. It could be possible that Raiden saw a spark in Liu Kang that this is the one that turned everything around. There is huge things hanging in the balance. The fate of Earthrealms is in the hands of one man, Liu Kang. And Liu Kang has to fight this massive dragon. This dragon monster called Goro. Not a single person on this planet could fight Goro. Not a single person. Liu Kang could fight Goro and defeat him. And on top of that, defeat Shang Tsung. I believe Shang Tsung was a champion of Mortal Kombat at the time. We don't know anything about that. At least I don't. There might be Mortal Kombat loreheads which have dived even deeper than I have. And they might know the story of when Shang Tsung was a champion of Mortal Kombat. Imagine Shang Tsung's life as a young man, training to be the champion of Mortal Kombat for Outworld. Look, this... It makes me laugh, man. There's so much rich possibility in the world of Mortal Kombat, and you have NRS concentrating on this BS this garbage that they've given us. You've got NRS changing people's genders and all that stuff. There's such a rich world. There's such a rich world in the world of Mortal Kombat. There's so much potential. Man, it frustrates me so much that NRS just does not understand the rich possibilities in the world of Mortal Kombat. What did I just tell you? Shang Tsung was once a champion of Mortal Kombat. Where's the story about that? Where's the story of the people, the eight champions to be, who fought Goro and failed? Where's their story? Like, there's so much richness, man. There's so much. Anyway, at the point in Mortal Kombat 11, Raiden decided he's going to pass his powers off to Liu Kang and upgrade Liu Kang's status to become what Raiden was. Liu Kang becomes the fire dog, and he has Raiden's electric powers, which seem to disappear in MK1. I don't know if anyone picked up on that. I'm sure you did. So now Liu Kang becomes what Raiden is. Okay? Raiden fades away now. He lives his mortal life as long as he can with Liu Kang. I guess... I don't know what Raiden's origin is. How much is a mortal life? If Sindel can live for thousands of years, if Kitana can be 10,000 years old, then how long does Raiden live? Where does Raiden come from? Does he come from outside of the realms? What kind of mortal life do they live? Did he help Liu Kang to at least remember? You know what? This might be an explanation for how Liu Kang was able to actually do a job of restarting history. Because Liu Kang shouldn't have any knowledge of how to do it. Either that, or he sat for millions of years trying to work it out, because he's alive permanently, so he has more than enough time to sit there and try every single way of trying to get the timeline started. But I don't think it's something that Liu Kang should know how to do. So maybe Raiden was there to guide him to at least get the process started, and then the history started and Mortal Kombat 1 was made. And I don't know, Liu Kang made a few changes in the world of Mortal Kombat, completely unnecessary changes, and these changes, they don't reflect like what Liu Kang would do. The problem in Mortal Kombat 1, the main big problem in Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 12, is that the changes in Mortal Kombat 12, it feels like the people, real life people at NRS, want to insert their changes in there. They gender swap so many people. What's going on in the world today? There's transgenderism going on in the world today. There's people coming up with all kinds of genders like, today I'm a rabbit. I feel like a rabbit. I'm rabbit gender. Today I feel, there was that one video of that lady saying, I don't like people. I like frogs. Frogs. Like, what are you gonna do with a frog? Okay, you can like frogs, no problem, but it's not, like, if you did it 20 years ago, if you changed somebody's gender, you had Raiden and you just changed his gender, nobody would have cared. They thought, oh, look, a female Raiden, now we have 2 Raidens. Oh, he can change into female and male. Oh yeah, Raiden's not a human, so I guess he can change his form however he likes. People would have come up with an explanation for that. But because of the world the way it is today, it looks like NRS is just inserting political ideologies into the game. And it is clear. So many times I've pointed out how women in Mortal Kombat, they're placed on a pedestal. They cannot lose to men. And if they do lose to men, it's some weak person like Raiden. That Raiden is made as a weak, gentle, sorry loser of a person who apparently embodies the best qualities of Earthrealm. Only this person can defeat women in Mortal Kombat. Otherwise, women are at the top and they defeat everything. And it's not... I don't have anything against women, getting something in Mortal Kombat. Of course they should. There should be men and women mixed. Like everything, Mortal Kombat should be art. It shouldn't be just, oh, we're not having enough women winning anything, so we need to put women in the spotlight more to give representation to women. When I saw that fight scene of Sindel versus Sindel with the katanas, the samurai swords in Mortal Kombat 1, I was thinking to myself, what the hell? Am I supposed to be excited watching this crap? Where's the men? Where's the men fighting each other? I want to see some hardcore action between men. Again, I have to bring this up. Jin Kazama versus Kazuya. Their fight is sick, man. Their fight is sick. I could watch that for ages. That scene of when Kazuya, when he tenses his bicep, I just want to freeze phrase that scene and print it off and put it in my garage so I can train. And just that one picture alone would inspire me to get tough, to get strong, like Kazuya. Man, even their names sound cool. I don't really want to have to say this, but look, fighting and being tough and strong and all this stuff, that's what boys do. That's what men do. You can find women here and there who want to be strong like that too. Like, I have a daughter. I'm not gonna push her to be like, oh yeah, you just stay in the kitchen, you just learn how to cook, while the boy, I'm gonna take him outside and box with him. No, I'm gonna take them both outside in the garden. I'm gonna box with both of them. I'll go a little bit easier on the daughter because she's obviously not as strong as the boy. But I want her to grow up like Sonya Blade. I want her to be tough like Sonya Blade. Sonya Blade is an inspiration. I want her to be tough like Sonya. I want my boy to be tough like Kazuya. I want to be like Kazuya. I want to have those strong muscles like Kazuya. Every time I look at Tekken, I'm like, man, I need to train today. I need to get in the garage and lift some weights. If I want to be like Kazuya, I have to do Kazuya stuff every day. I have to lift weights. I have to be hard. I have to be tough. Anyway, that's for another video. I will explain that in another video anyway. Okay, back to the main purpose of this video. Liu Kang, what does he do? What do we get to see of his life? At the end of Mortal Kombat 11, he descends to the Great Kung Lao. And in Mortal Kombat 1, it's totally forgotten. There's no Great Kung Lao. Ah, yes, I really liked the Great Kung Lao's meticulous nature. It really reminds me of his meticulous nature, this Jade Dragon. Ah, yes, there was a Great Kung Lao here. But, we somehow missed that boat. Because we want to tell stories about how, women like Melina are the champions of Mortal Kombat. And how Sindel ruled Outworld and Shao Kahn is just her little pet who she just tells him what to do. And what else? How Shang Tsung is a flamboyant character while Melina sits with an angry face and she's really tough because she's really angry. And Sector's a girl now. But because she's a girl, she now takes over as the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. I half feel embarrassed that I have another channel that's to do with the Lin Kuei. My Lin Kuei channel is based on Midway Lin Kuei, where Kuai Liang is the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei. That's what my channel's based on. But seeing this garbage, I feel like changing my my theme into the Black Dragon or something. Nothing wrong happened with the Black Dragon, so, or maybe the Red Dragon. Anyway, Liu Kang only concentrates on that small segment that was his life. He comes about, and Mortal Kombat 1 is set in a segment of time that was based on Liu Kang's life, where there's Johnny Cage. And there's no Sonya and Jax for some reason. There's who the hell else is there? There's Kitana, which I don't know what the hell he's done to Kitana. He just made her a servant. It's like she just stands on the side and she's just a servant. He could have honored Kitana and made her the leader of Outworld or whatever. And Melina could have been the one on the side. She could have been the sister who's trying to maybe get to the throne or whatever. I don't know, man. There's no life in this game. There's no life in these characters. These characters are just like stories. They're being told to us by the NRS team. There's no life in them. There's no flavor to them. There's no soul to them. It's just a boring narrative from someone at NRS. These people at NRS, they don't love Mortal Kombat. They're just doing a job to get Mortal Kombat on their resume. They're just doing this job for a job progression. Oh yeah, I worked as an artist on Mortal Kombat. I did the story in Mortal Kombat. A successful AAA franchise. Yeah, you should hire me because that's my level. I worked on a Mortal Kombat game. That's all they're trying to do. They're just trying to put Mortal Kombat on their resume. And it's a shame. Ed Boon should be background checking these people. What can I say, man? They're doing their background checks probably, but they're looking for skill. No doubt these people have skill in animation and stuff. But they're just not Mortal Kombat people. That's the problem. And that's where Ed Boon comes in. He's supposed to direct them. He's supposed to show them this is how Mortal Kombat is supposed to look like. The Midway team that used to be there, the team that used to be at Midway, they're supposed to step in and say, this is what Mortal Kombat is supposed to be like. This is how it is. I was gonna make another video out of this. Flipping hell. This video is going on to so much different tangents. I need to make another video to talk about the tangent of what goes on at Netherrealm Studios. What was we talking about again? Liu Kang. He's only focused on the segment of life that he lived in, which is just a grain of sand in the life of Raiden. It doesn't make sense. Liu Kang should have served as the Mortal Kombat champion and then died. You know that time when Shang Tsung killed him? I did not want Liu Kang to die like that. I wanted Liu Kang in Deadly Alliance. I was upset when there was no Liu Kang in Deadly Alliance, I had to settle with Kung Lao, which I was happy with because he's sick. Kung Lao's a badass, and Sub-Zero too. Everyone's a badass in Deadly Alliance, and Deception too. And then I found out that Liu Kang is in Deception. Liu Kang is in Deception somewhere. I have to find him. I have to. Liu Kang is back. But Liu Kang's time is over now. Kung Lao should have been the one that progresses onto champion. Gosh, there's so many tangents in this video. There's so many tangents. It can be possible that Raiden passes off his powers onto Liu Kang, and then Liu Kang starts his thing, but I feel like this role just should belong to Raiden, and Liu Kang should just die out. He should just be another blip in Raiden's life, and then Raiden just moves on to someone else. He's probably seen millions of Liu Kangs. Unless Liu Kang was that one special spark in his life. He must have seen millions of champions before. The Great Kung Lao, for example. The Great Kung Lao was a spark in his life, right? The Great Kung Lao became a Mortal Kombat champion. He must have been a spark like Liu Kang. He inspired Liu Kang. If only they didn't do all this time travel crap. And imagine if they just had this way of, they found an artifact somewhere and somehow they were able to like mess with time a little bit. None of this timeline garbage, they just messed with time a little bit and they were able to bring the Great Kung Lao into modern Mortal Kombat Day just for one game. The Great Kung Lao. Every time you pick him in the character select screen, the Great Kung Lao, or just Kung Lao. Maybe you have two Kung Laos in the character select screen. So you have one that goes Kung Lao, and then another one that goes Kung Lao. You know, different. Maybe they could have just brought him into the modern day of Mortal Kombat for one game, and the Great Kung Lao would be like, what's going on here? And he sees Raiden and he's like, Lord Raiden. What's happening, Lord Raiden? Where am I? And then Raiden just tells him, look, it's good to see you, it's good to see you, Kung Lao. These two here, these Shaolin monks, Liu Kang and Kung Lao, these are your descendants. Here, this is the Great Kung Lao. He's your ancestor. Imagine the meeting of the... Oh, what are you doing, NRS? There's so much potential. There's so much potential and you're not doing anything with it. You're not doing anything with it. Ah, it hurts. Why? Just, we need somebody else doing story writing. We don't need this guy. He's crap. He's total crap. He doesn't know anything. This garbage Chaos Reigns that he came up with. What the hell is this crap? Absolute garbage from beginning to end. Chaos Reigns is total trash. Total trash. Total garbage. What a disgrace. You call this Mortal Kombat? It's just like some shitty Netflix. It's like some shitty low-budget Netflix production. What the hell are you doing? Dominic Chiantoli, you have done a terrible job. You've done a terrible job. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of what you've done with Mortal Kombat. You don't respect the lore, the history. You know what? You have your small group of NRS lovers out there in the world. They're buying every NRS game. They even buy the Injustice games, and they play Mortal Kombat 12 every single day. And they're like, oh yeah, I gotta practice this combo. I gotta practice that combo. I gotta practice all these things. I was doing that too. Because there's a whole world out there. You don't even know them. They're playing Mortal Kombat 2. They're playing Mortal Kombat 3. They're playing Mortal Kombat Mugen games. You know why? They're playing that because you delivered garbage. Well, fine then, just let them play that. Like, if they're happy playing the old Mortal Kombat game, games, just let them. It's fine. Let them do what they want. You dumb bastard. You dumb bastard. Every Tekken fan, I bet you there are Tekken people who played Tekken in the old day, and they're all playing Tekken 8, or Tekken 7 at least. For some reason, Tekken 8 is getting a lot of hate. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna overstep my boundaries there. I don't know anything about Tekken. But damn, I bet you old players of Tekken, the ones who played Tekken 3, Tekken 2, Tekken 4, 5, they're probably playing the modern one. Because Tekken is true to its history. I played Tekken 3 a long time ago. I remember some of Jin's moves, and I was surprised to see them. They're still in this modern day game. You can see Jin's moves. You can see Kazuya's move when he does that kick where he's spinning around. It's amazing. I bet you all the Tekken players, they're excited every single time for a new Tekken game, and they're just going there. You have a whole community that's just out in the shadows playing Mortal Kombat 3 with each other online. They're playing Fightcade. They're not playing this modern day garbage. And you know what? The gameplay of the modern day stuff might be fun. But why they don't play it is because, just like me, they don't like the story. They don't like the lore. You messed it up big time. We don't just buy Mortal Kombat just because, oh yeah, pick your character and you start playing with him. Forget the story. No, the story is the big thing in Mortal Kombat. It's big. Anyone who tells you, oh, who cares about the story, just pick up the game and play the game, shut up. Mortal Kombat is driven by its gameplay and its story. You pick your character because of the story behind him. You like Sub-Zero because not just because he's the ice guy. Not just because he's the ice guy, he just throws ice everywhere. And then you have an opposite element. Oh yeah, he throws fire. Oh yeah, we have two ninjas. One of them throws ice, one of them throws fire. I want to be the fire one. No, I want to be the ice one. It's not just that. They have a whole story behind them. And you NRS people, you're not even taking advantage of these people, the old ones, who are playing the old games. They would literally buy a collection and they would love to play online through the legit means. If NRS released a collection of the first Mortal Kombat game, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they didn't screw with anything, they didn't touch anything, I would buy that. I would buy it. But do I really want to give money to NRS for that when I can just go play on Fightcade? Imagine we're talking about Fightcade and then NRS looks at it and thinks, you know what, this thing is taking our business. Let's shut it down. I've gone off tangent again, haven't I? I don't really know if there's anything else to say. All I think is Liu Kang should not be in the role of Raiden. He should be in the role of Liu Kang. Raiden should stay in his role. Liu Kang should be a blip in Raiden's life. Raiden can move on to the next champion. There's a fresh generation of humans every 50, 60, 70, 100 years. There's new people. He can find a new champion. There can be a descendant of Liu Kang who looks up to Liu Kang. Imagine he's walking through the Wuxi temple. You know, like how that guy was walking through the Kung Jin when he went through Raiden's Sky Temple and he saw those portraits of Kung Lao and Liu Kang, that these are the Shaolin monks and I come from them, descendant. Imagine that. Even Kung Jin could have become something. Even Takeda, he looks like Liu Kang. You know, it doesn't have to be a descendant of Liu Kang. It doesn't have to be a descendant of Kung Lao. Someone else can be a champion as well. Maybe Takeda could have been one. I don't like these combat kids, but a new character has to be born and has to take on the mantle of being the champion of Mortal Kombat. It can't just be Liu Kang every time. There has to be that progression where we see Raiden move on to the next generation. Raiden should always be present in every generation, but Liu Kang took his job, and then Liu Kang repays Raiden by turning him into a little bitch, a little pussy. And it's funny because Raiden realizes it in his ending. You see my video over here. This one I talk about Raiden's ending, about how Raiden realizes that Liu Kang done him dirty, screwed things up for him, and he's not happy with it. He feels like he's been done a disservice by Liu Kang. A seed of doubt has been sowed in Raiden. He's looking at Liu Kang thinking, this guy, he chopped my balls off for no reason. This guy, he just chopped my balls off. What was Liu Kang fearing? You know what? Raiden has gone to, what's his name? Yellow Fire Sub-Zero. What was his name? In Chinese? Fire Sub-Zero in Chinese? Jinglu Yizha de Hoyan? Jinglu Yizha de Hoyan? I can't believe I remember that. If that's right. Raiden goes up to him because he wants to learn to be angry. He wants to learn how to bring out the fire. This is good, man. Raiden, like the thing that I feel, this thing that's in men, where we have this aggression and rage about us. This thing that's in men where there's aggression. Raiden wants to go and learn that because he looks up to the old Raiden. This much I can respect about this Raiden. And if it actually went somewhere where he tried to look up to the old Raiden, and like he knows Liu Kang just messed him up, but you wanna know what? It wasn't Liu Kang. Liu Kang is just an avatar of Dominic Giancholo. Dominic Giancholo is messing up the world of Mortal Kombat. Just like how Damashi is the avatar of Onaga the Dragon King, used to deceive Shujinko. Liu Kang is the avatar of Dominic Giancholo, and it's him who messed you up. You need to step out of the game and go thundershock Dominic Giancholo and the NRS team. Yeah, so I think I've concluded it already. Just a very last quick summary. Raiden should keep his role as Raiden. Liu Kang should be a blip in Raiden's life. He's dead. Let's move on to the next person, the next generation. Liu Kang has no authority, no audacity, no right to be in Raiden's place. Raiden should not be just passing his powers off to some... he's not just some guy, but Raiden shouldn't be passing his powers off like that. Unless Raiden doubts himself and he's like, you know what, I'm just screwing up everything. Forget about this. This job's not for me anymore. Let's pass it on to Liu Kang. Maybe he'll do a better job. Well, great job, Liu Kang. You did a great job. You made such a fantastic game. This Chaos Reigns disgrace. What a disgrace Chaos Reigns is. I need to make a separate video on Chaos Reigns. That, oh my gosh, man. I don't even have the words to describe Chaos Reigns. Chaos Reigns is just, it's the worst. I can't, there's no words to describe it. Or I just don't have the capacity to describe it. It is the single-handed worst abomination that any human being has ever produced. I don't think Chaos Reigns was produced by a human. I think the humans that produced Chaos Reigns, they consulted the devil. They had a Ouija board, and they summoned Lucifer, and Lucifer came and directed Chaos Reigns for them. And they were like, oh, this is a good idea, yeah. I'm sure this will get success because Lucifer's hand was involved in it. What an abomination. What an abomination. This video was a little bit all over the place. There's just too many tangents.